Meant to go back to the evidence. Maybe it's the suicide note to help Ms. A. I don't think so. I actually had a bit of a brain moment earlier on where I was saying that I think the reason that Celeste Impacts committed suicide is because she'd had a relationship with Matt Ongard previously when she used to work at Global Studios. She then moved to Worldwide Studios mysteriously. After that, she had a relationship with Juan Corrida. They then got engaged, but then 3 days later, Juan Corrida broke off the engagement with her, and I think it had something to do with Matt and the fact that they'd had a relationship in the past. Maybe he didn't trust her or something like that, don't know. But either way, Celeste Impacts commits suicide, and she wrote a suicide note, not blaming Juan, blaming Matt, and disclosing a hideous secret in her note. Juan Corrida then hid the note, in my opinion, not to protect himself, but to keep that secret safe to use against Matt when the time is right. And I think that he was going to reveal that at the fake press conference. I think that's what was really going on. I don't know yet, we'll see. But I don't think he wants to get the suicide note. Maybe he doesn't even know about it, because Juan hid it. So, yeah. And everybody makes the assumption that, well, the reason Juan Corrida would hide the suicide note after they broke off their engagement is because, well, he would, you know, not want people to read it because it would be damning to him. It's damaging to him, but it's not. It's damaging to someone else, and he's holding on to it as, like, leverage, blackmailing, that kind of thing. Don't have enough for that. Okay, well, we can start again. We already know. Let's go back through again. We already know what we need to click on when. I mean, I know it's a stretch right now to kind of go down that route. It may be something else again. Where was it hidden? That's the bear. King Pulsar knows something I don't. That's fine, that's cool. Let me be surprised. I know it's probably not going to be right, but... Alright. Here's proof that it was you. Here's the receipt. Gonna blast our way through the locks. The reason you hid it in the camera, hid the camera in Mr. Corrida's room, is filmed it in secret, is I don't necessarily think we have any proof that he knew he was going to be murdered. It might be because of this. Question is, do I point to that or do I point to Ms. Andrews? Let's just try this for science. Adrian Andrews? There's a rumour going around that Ms. Andrews and Mr. Corrida were having a secret meetings. I guess that does put another spin on it, doesn't it? A tabloid saying, oh, they're having a little, you know, relationship together. Ooh, scandalous. To him, if he knows there's other shit going on, it's like, that's not what they think. That's something else. That's my secret. You who was keeping tabs on Mr. Corrida, you were going to reveal this as a fact and turn it into a scandal. Isn't that right? Dude, you can be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer Dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. The good stuff? Juicy? Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny on that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stopped paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Corridor because of Ms. Andrews. Then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. Hello again, Sam. How are you today? I figured you said hello, then drifted off. How's things with you, my friend? The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Corridor's room was... Oh my god. Said hello later, then 5 seconds later realised I was supposed to be at my meeting with your therapist. Oh dear. No problem. But good, I'm glad you're good. They gave me a second chance. Yeah, this seems really weird. I've never seen it do that before. So now I need to figure out the next one. No problem, revered red maid. Lurk away. Lurkers are always welcome here. I really appreciate that follow earlier. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. Oh, so again, does it want me to point to evidence or to a person? The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Corridor's room was... So it wasn't just for the scandal. Because that would actually probably help Corridor rather than hurt him. It would just put more eyes on him. So why would he do that, right? But he was obviously worried that they were discussing his secrets. Would I like a hint? I'm okay for now, thank you. I'll have a think about this. Yes, let the brain juice flow. It's going to dribble right out of my ears, down my shoulders. Inhale the big brain energy. Exactly. That's what we're going to do. While we're having big brain moments, let's have another battle royale in the chat. But yes, Sam, you won the battle royale earlier as well when you showed up. So well done for that. Okay, so we've already used all of these. I don't think this picture card is something that we would just put down because Phoenix doesn't know enough. So I still don't think he knew that one Corridor was going to be killed. Maybe he was trying to figure out if one Corridor had the suicide note with him. Like, where is it? Is it in a safe somewhere, or does he carry it on his person at all times? Because that suicide note might be more about him and he might know it. Oh, I am Puppybot won the Battle Royale. Rip everybody. Rigged. No. So you say. Do prove it. Objection. Let's give it a try. No. If I really wanted to set a spy camera, I wouldn't have set it up in one's room. It would be in your office, dude. Huh? My office? Well, dude, you're always saying really absurd things, right? It'd be like getting the Comedy Channel for free. Wow. Okay, that hurts. So close, I feel it. If you're done laughing... Okay. Back out. And let's reload. Start the conversation. Oh, that never happened. Damn. All right. Okay, so you paid attention to him because of the camera. This is how we know. We know that it was hidden inside the bear's eye. And the person who gave the bear to him was you. Proof that it was you is the receipt. So the reason you hid the camera in Mr. Corridor's room is not the newspaper clipping, not the suicide report, because that's the only thing that has any hint of the suicide note, unless the only two people who were there was going to be these two. It's one or the other, probably. He was keeping tabs on her. Adrian Andrews? Oh, okay, this is just going to show the same roundabout second chance. Maybe you're supposed to take this route. There's a rumour going around, Ms. Andrews and Corridor having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Corridor, you were going to reveal that fact and turn it into a scandal, but no, we're a moron. That kind of scandal's juicy, it's the good stuff. We get publicity without spending money. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent. You didn't spy on Corridor because of Ms. Andrews. There's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set the camera up in the room was, let's try Celeste then. No, that didn't work either. Bollocks. Alright, backing out, backing out. Ah, don't save. Damn. This is the thing, because you have to kind of just step into the minefield with some of these. They are really obtuse. Very obscure. Some of them you can make good educated guesses. Other stuff it's like, well, you know, what is the game thinking? So hidden and buried, we have no idea of knowing. It's all trial and error. And a lot of the time it's more just knowing which item to point to. You might know the actual answer to the question, but you don't know which item answers it. Need to do this. Here's the proof it was you. The only other thing I can think of is, I'm going to take the route we just took though. I'm going to, just in case it makes a difference, maybe we need to hear the denial of one thing for it to make sense with the other. Let's go through this. But the thing is, it was in the ideal place to see this card being planted. That's the only other factor that there was in the room. What is this card? And he did notice it when we showed it him earlier. Maybe he doesn't know about the card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelley the Killer, and I'm sure you know him, don't you? Shelley the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? Or even assuming that he's a shady scumbag. He could have been the room cleaner for all we know. This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. Can't afford to make any more mistakes now. It's going to be instant death. Mr. On Guard, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because... Oh my god. That's just kind of silly. That's... taking a huge leap. You're a star. Because being a celebrity means he might know some shady folk. I mean, if we go with that, we're flat out stating that he's guilty to him. We're telling him you are guilty. Because as we said earlier, if he is the client, he's guilty of murder as sure as the actual assassin is as well. It's conspiracy to murder, which is the same as murder. But if we say that, it might push him, if he's not the client, he might give us enough information if we scare him. Let's go with it. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew exactly what was going to happen in that room and in that spot where it was pointing. So how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client, that's why. You hired Shelley the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corridor. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Ongard. Sigh. Here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. Ongard, you really did hire him? Hold on a sec. I'm going to consult myself, okay? He's taking the piss now, isn't he? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. The fuck? This isn't even his final form. Oh my god. Wait, where the frigging hell did he get this this glass of brandy from? What? Like, yeah, where did he get this from? It's like, now I will swirl the brandy. Shy, hello sweetheart, good morning. You was waiting for this for so long, I could tell. Look at him. Oh my god. What's with the scratches, dude? Oh my goodness. What if that's like... Oh my god, what if Celeste Impacts did that if she fought back? Nah, there would have been DNA evidence behind, but oh my goodness. Maybe he fought the bear. Oh, yes. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ongard. This is the real him. Holy shit. So, tell us this secret. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So, you are Shelley the Killer's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? Wow. Hey, Luigi. How's it going, buddy? You're lying, that's terrible. It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. You're all adrenalined up. Man, that reveal though, oh my god, he's all like, I'm gonna brush the hair back, scratches, evil face, glass of brandy. Like, oh my god, what? And this guard, he's just like, not seeing anything, don't care. 3 more hours I can go home. Yeah, it is such a good twist, I like it. But why? Why did you hide the video camera? And a weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret, but I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. I got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Damn. I'm sure he's just a mannequin at this point to make it look like there are lots of guards. Yeah, probably is. I've said that many times. He's like the guard from V for Vendetta that Natalie Portman's character sees down the hallway in the detention area, but it's when she gets too close, when she gets brave enough to walk that way, she's like, it's a mannequin. Oh shit. Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corridor? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Corridor had been able to give it, then Mr. Onguard's secret would have... Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept upon me, and then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Corridor ended up dead? Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it, the assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all worked their butts off for me, Matt on guard. Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you'd killed Juan Corridor, and you answered very clearly you hadn't killed anyone. And now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was the killer guy, right? And all I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room. You killed Mr. Corridor. I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mystic Maya? Yeah, he knows about it. You wouldn't want to test a killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel! You cad! You bounder! So, if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. One said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Wow. Maya, what am I supposed to do? Now, you finally found it. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth? I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Well, Mr. Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that. That's right, he's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth. Right? Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was, and that's why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt I couldn't stand in that court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer... oh god, that man is really... That doesn't matter who every person... that doesn't matter who, every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? What exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for your clients up until now? Well, yes, but they were all innocent. Well, that may be true, but that's because I believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. If I were to get on guard and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I never thought my methods would come back and bite me in the arse like this. How dare you? I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right? Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something's easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You're a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you, but I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. Well, she doesn't have to anymore because we ruined that. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. Yes, I won! It's not rigged. We know what it would be rigged if you won all the time. But no, Sam won earlier on. So there you go. You almost never win. I know, that's so sad, I'm sorry. Proving it's not rigged, as I just said. If you like, you can let off a bunch of grenades. You can let some stress out. I see, now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. What do you... Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. That's the game's way of saying there's two endings. Get the right one. Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Onguard's sake? Why are you doing this for a cold-blooded killer? Right? Please don't misunderstand things. He's my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much a killer himself. I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I'd like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what's called client relations and is part of an assassin's duty. Assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however. You did, but my name is the Killer. Shelley the Killer. You're Shelley the Killer? Josh Edgeworth, you're not supposed to know about him. Please keep in mind, you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya! It would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap. No! Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace the signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Meow! Oh! Kitty cat. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth? Shoo! Did you hear that at the very end of the transmission? Oh? Oh, that sounded like a cat. A cat? Can't be that cat, can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelley the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for Onguard's mansion immediately. Alright. You hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah. I love this music. It's just so... Yeah. That's it. Everybody, send everyone, even you, and bring the stuffed badger thing with you as well. And that guy. And the poster, because there's a picture of a person on it. We need them all. Yes, bring everybody. Apart from Gumshoe, he's useless. Okay. I don't think we have enough yet to go back to the detention center and speak to what's-her-face. So we should probably go straight down there. Yeah, poor Gumshoe. Alright. There it is. There's a little bear in front of the cat flap. Yes, send in the bears! Send them all in. We've got one here already. He got here early. Maya! Please answer us, Mystic Maya. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape, assuming he's still in the area. Can't believe it, that butler. All this time, he was the killer. It was the butler. Every Cluedo game I've ever played is finally right. He and Onguard were working together this whole time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. Okay. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. I think Maya saw this on the other side of this door, if I remember correctly, because there was like a video room in there, like a home cinema, with a satellite dish as well. That was probably what they used to receive the transmission. And this little bear was there, and I thought at first, are they in one corridor's house? But, because of the bear. But then when it had all the little cuts and scratches on it, and I noticed the cat flap, I thought maybe that's a cat's chew toy. It's a wooden bear. Oh, okay, it's not a plushie. I thought it was a plushie. Covered in many thin cuts. Added to the court record. A bear, isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Corridor? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here. That's right. Pearl, go through it. Maybe it's to keep the cat away. Maybe. I'm sure that's for Shu. Do you think that this came through that little door? Ugh, this door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Slam, slam, crash. That's the sound of Wright's shoulder breaking. There's no one here. But this is the room we saw in Maya's little segment. From the looks of this room, I would say this is On Guard's private lounge. Look at this, Wright. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals in a VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. There's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we were looking for and escaped with it. Okay, let's examine everything. The VCR and an antenna, the footage that the spy camera took on the scene of the crime was beamed here and recorded on tape. If only we had that tape in, it would be really helpful. I also don't know if a satellite dish would be inside of a house. Remember VCRs? Oh yes. Oh yes. It's been ages since you've seen a VCR. Oh my god. Oh. Now, children, gather round. It's old man time. My husband has one. Well, the player's downstairs, but it doesn't really work, I think. This is what we used to buy in shops. Look how big it is, but it had inside of it a videotape. Oh, that's a blast from the past. Right there. Throwback Tuesday. Good movie, by the way. Galaxy Quest. Love it. But yeah, shame I do not have a functioning player. Every time I try to put a tape in, it goes in part way, then it just comes back out again. So I think the loading tray's bust. Bit of a shame. Such an ancient relic, I know, right? It belongs in a museum. A huge television and speakers looms largely here. I'm sure if Maya saw this, she'd say, I would die a happy samurai fan if I could see the Nickel Samurai on a TV like this. She said that, actually, when she saw that. I'm not bringing those to Canada. Well, they wouldn't work. Even if I could get a player over there, they wouldn't work in it anyway. They're the wrong format. So yeah, they've all got to go. I need to do a clean out of my VCR collection and just say, well, bye-bye. Keep into the 10 years and sell it for gold. I can't believe I just made a joke about Maya, all things considered. There's a PC here. It's on Guard's computer. Maya, why couldn't you have used this to get help? Mr. Nick, where's the power switch? Oh, I get it. So that's what happened. She couldn't find the power switch. That plus the butler did come in and, you know, get rid of us. Good old collectibles. There's a little door for Shu in this big door. I'm sure Maya used this door to shove this out there. I'm sure it was her. Every time you give me some piece of evidence, it's always the most crucial piece. This time too, I'm sure. Well, if that's the case, if somebody pushed it in here from the outside and it was still in front of the door, nobody's left this area. So she's got to be here. The only other alternative is when they left, like maybe he heard the cat and thought, shit, he's going to catch on. He then evacuated quickly with Maya and for some reason left that right there. Which makes no sense. I can't read all the labels, but this is a very large collection of videotapes. Looks like On Guard's taped all of his own shows. What a spacious sofa. I bet 10 pearls would fit on it here. I don't think 10 of me would fit, Mr. Nick. It's a very small table. It's called a coffee table. I bet we could barely squeeze 3 pearls on there. Is this now Phoenix Wright's unit of measurement? How many pearls? But I wouldn't sit on a table to begin with, Mr. Nick. It's rude. Okay, I think we got everything. Yep. Wine cellar. Yes, she is the new measuring unit. How many pearls are there? There's also a picture frame. What the heck? We've searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. Looks like he's slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close. I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Unless there's a hidden room. Yeah, because it makes no sense. Like, if he left with her, then he would have been the last person to close that door. Why did he put that bear there? Maya wouldn't have left that as a clue. What's this? A picture of Ms. Impax. With love, Celeste. This was the other thing. We saw this as well. And that was the other reason that we thought it was Mr. Corridor's apartment, right? And then we ended up coming here with Phoenix, and it ended up being Matt Onguard's. Oh yeah, how much wine does this guy drink? He probably doesn't. He probably just has it because it's like, oh, I need a wine cellar. You know, makes me important. Ms. Impax? You mean... Yes, Mr. Corridor's former manager. Why would a picture of Ms. Impax be in Mr. Onguard's mansion? And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. So this is actually supporting my theory that they had a relationship before a relationship with Juan Corridor. Maybe she even had gone to be Juan Corridor's manager to spy on him. For Matt Onguard. Maybe he had blackmail on her. There's a lot of things we could theorize, but yeah. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's special about the frame? On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mystic Maya. She left us a message. What? She left us her name as a message? I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better get Onguard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. So wait, she knows she's in Onguard's cellar? Interesting. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left, and the picture frame is kind of small. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure to help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for that helpless lunk. Wow, okay, I don't even want to save you anymore. Edgeworth, call it off! What? I missed that last bit. No! Mystic Maya! Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Nothing. We've searched the house. This is the last room. It looks like he's eluded us. Edgeworth, yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? Gotta get her secret. There's Andrew's psych lock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, I think I'd stand a chance in court tomorrow to blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Alright, Pearl, stop crying. Let's go. Time to open the last lock. But before that, let's save it. Yeah. In fact, you know what? It's past 4 o'clock. We need to take a break. Okay. Ooh. I just clicked in the game and it started doing things. Okay, guys, let's crack on with this. So, we need to break her secret. Need to figure out what the deal is with her. What's wrong? You look ill. Ms. Andrews? I've come to remove your psych lock. She'd be like, say what? What are you talking about? Psyche lock? I want to know and you will tell me your secrets. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Okay. There's only the one lock. I bet when we break this, there's going to be like 10 more locks show up and we'll be like, no! Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ongard for murder? I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike him. Ms. Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So, you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. A woman who lives by being dependent on other people, there is someone in her past that would make her want to take revenge, and that would be Celeste Impacts. But we need proof. And I think now the photo we found at Matt's house saying with love shows that. Celeste, there's only one catalyst that could cause such a strong feeling for revenge, and that's Ms. Impact's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was one's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also one. What does this have to do with Matt? That's it, we didn't have a link to between Matt and Celeste till now. You haven't mentioned him yet, but for you to hate Mr. Ongard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Ms. Impacts and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relationship? Quite simple, really. Love. Also, she may be, you know, no, it's nothing to do with the bear. This is a photo of Ms. Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Ms. Impacts' handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yes, it is. I found this at Mr. Ongard's mansion. After all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Oh yes. So, why frame him? Celeste was supposed to get married to one. Yes, but I heard it didn't work out. Because Mr. Corridor didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. Ongard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Now we find out if my big brain theory from earlier was right. Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. The guy's like 22, come on. She was the happiest woman in the entire world at the time. I was working part-time back then and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why "With Love, Celeste" is written on the frame of that picture. That's it, when he was like 16, yeah. They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios, and that's where she met Juan. He seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan was such a good match, and they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. Yeah, but what does Matt have to do with their marriage falling through? There must be some ongoing, continual shit that he just threw in there to screw with them. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see, so that's what happened. But then why did Mr. Corridor have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. Pearl's growing up really fast here. Like, yes, get all this adult bullshit, you know. It was probably because of the worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Oh, poor Miss Impacts. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain Celeste left a suicide note behind, and in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds. I was right. So that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized the note was a powerful weapon against Matt. This is exactly what I said earlier. And it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge? There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. She wanted to burn it, though. At the time, that would cause Matt the most... Well, at the time, that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard about it from Juan. It was so I could find out about all that I drew... It was so... let me try this again. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. I don't know if Juan Corridor was particularly, guilty of that, other than, throwing a hissy fit and cancelling the wedding. Because Matt came and said, hey, we used to be a couple. Which was probably an outright lie anyway. I mean, a day later, they might have started talking and got it settled down again. But that night when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I'd even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring them to my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters, so when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. Wow. Showbiz, y'all. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that monster? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and talking with me. Oh yeah, she did, didn't she? It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either, not with Maya's situation, or with what I know now. Well. We're having nightmares. How did I get into this mess? That's far enough. Can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. No, Udgy, don't! What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. Huh? But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Oh God, he's going all Odin on us. You're unworthy of your title. You're unworthy of the loved ones you betrayed. I've had this dream before. As if the day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. Truly the scum of the earth. To prove a killer innocent. Damn. Beep. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today. Oh, you're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? I'm gonna slap you, boy. Not even hide. Oh God, I even brought the brandy to court. It's like, yeah, who's gonna stop me? I'm gonna sit here and swirl this all the way through the court. If you please, Mr. Lawyer, remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict too. Now listen up, you better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bagger not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. Phoenix! Phoenix! Mia! Boobs! Maya! How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? Well, yes, she's not dead. She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Oh, that's right, she could have channeled her. We could have used her as a relay. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up, there's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left, not here, not anywhere. Apart from this phone call. Hang on, one moment. That accursed on guard again. Beep. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore, I mean it. That's Gumshoe. Oh no! You're really mean, pal. Ah, Gumshoe. Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead? How could you? Oh no! Sorry, but right now, we've got 0 leads on the guy. We're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial's over and until the verdict is handed down. We're gonna do everything we can to find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true, I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. Oh God, we have to make the trial last longer? I can do that. I'm gonna clutch at all the straws now. If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us, we're gonna give it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Don't ever call me again. Hey, Phoenix, you understand now, don't you? You have some money, you have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. With Gumshoe. In fact, I think for that I deserve a little bit of a refund. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. I thought it said you have it in an ambulance then. Yeah. I got friends, you got friends, we all got friends together. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Oh god, what am I saying? I'm delirious. No. Okay. The judge is going to open with a statement like, well, I want to get this done pretty quickly. I've got a golfing tournament to go to later, so let's wrap this up in about 10 minutes, okay? Like, no. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ongard. The defense is ready to draw this out as long as humanly possible, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Okay. Wow, Edgeworth. Way to one-up me all the time. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Ms. Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ongard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying she's guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor, but chill out. Ms. Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin? You say? Yes, one corridor was killed by a professional assassin, and the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ongard. What a surprising turn of events! He's already ready to pronounce a guilty verdict. Because that's how this judge rolls. I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on in this... this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. He always looks so forlorn, doesn't he? And so nervous. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm, Will Powers. I wonder if I draw Phoenix's eyes too big? I mean, you know, you keep practicing different styles. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. What's your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry, well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. Oh, I like this guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. But I didn't know that. Yeah, we don't know what he's going to testify to. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, would you like to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ongard's room? Okay, sure. He's still wearing the same suit. It's kind of like a tracksuit tuxedo, it's really weird. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Oh, look who's there! Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in the nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night and I couldn't make them wait for me. That's us! We were his guests. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. Talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ongard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? He just skipped right past that. Looks like we're in another sticky situation, huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Yeah. That's what I do best. Stumble through blindly and hope to crash through the solution. And then pick it up afterwards and put it back together. So after the award ceremony, he went with himself to Matt's room. The defendant's room? Why did you go there? What was your business? Lion-O, yes. Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright! What is it? You're going to try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. In fact, we literally just said we know a professional assassin did it, so... No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Every time? That means every witness would have been charged for every murder trial. Only one of them did. Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time, so for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Why do I need talking to? I've done nothing wrong. God, these guys. Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room, and then... Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Every time, Nick. Every time. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in the Nicholas Samurai costume. Okay. Are you sure that was Matt Ongard? Yep, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the Nicholas Samurai mask then. Ah. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And? What was the defendant doing standing in front of his room? He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. At first? What do you mean by that? I caught that earlier. I was like, what do you mean at first? And then afterwards, did you see something different? Why would you phrase it that way? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform. He had a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. Why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now, sorry. I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. I watched the two of them for a while and gave up and went back. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. I had guests with me that night. Couldn't make them wait for me. Who were you with? It literally is asking that. Who are the guests you're talking about? You guys, of course. You and your Maya and little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you, so I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the doorway. It's like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. So apparently there's got to be something that contradicts this shit. He did actually, at the beginning of the game, come back to us with these tickets. It didn't escape my notice as well that in the scene that it showed us, the tomato juice and this glass were in it. So he was delivering that to one corridor's room, which is weird. Why would Matt be tipping a delivery for one corridor's meal? I mean, maybe he delivered his as well, but we know that's going to be the killer. Went by myself to Matt's room, standing there in front of his room in his samurai costume, talking with someone, thought it was the bellboy. Watched the two of them for a while. Guests with me, couldn't make them wait for me. I'm gonna have a look at this one. At first, what do you mean by that? I didn't think it was a normal bellboy, why was that? Why did you think that? Am I supposed to know? Wait a second, actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated, you know, I did feel something weird. Got new dialogue here now. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. So comfortable using the Bluetooth earpiece on the laptop, you can draw without wires and bullshit? Awesome, yeah, they do get in the way, don't they? Especially when you need your hands, and if you're leaning over a pad and you've got the cable trailing, it's hard to root it out of the way. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. This bellboy. He wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Yes. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Okay. Was in his son. Tip. Watched the two of them for a while. Okay. So let's question this now. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. Let me guess, did he just put like a big fat stack of cash on the tray? How much was it? It was like, you know, 2 inches of money. That's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask more about. I can probably do both, right? But I will save it anyway.